guys, welcome to episode 3 of our podcast. So today we're actually going to do things a little bit differently from our last 2 episodes. We actually have a theme this time. We're actually organized. I did research. We're good. So I'm Selena, and with me I have Logan, Justin, Kelsey, and Noelle. And our friend Leo will be joining us probably a little bit later.
He's been on maternity leave for a while.
He's actually out to dinner with his family, but same thing. So, it's the same.
Same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Out with family. Same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Shade.
So,
Same shit every day.
this weuk, what we're doing... today's gonna be a horror theme. Horror
because
theme?
it's Halloween right now, so...
It is February 11th, I think.
Yeah,
it's Halloween. No, we're just gonna talk about, like, creepy stories, myths, and, like, I don't know, random shit.
And things,
Just
things that have triggered us.
Things that go bump in the night.
Yes.
I might low-key dip, because I'm a fucking scaredy cat.
That's fine. All right. It's all good. No, it's okay.
If you lose the giant laugh, you'll know that Kelsey's missing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I've done a lot of research, let's just say that. It has taken me a full week. I'm sitting here with a booklet of papers.
Because you're really into this. Like, you're almost like a hardcore ghost hunter.
I'm prepared.
She's more than just she's almost obsessed with one of the topics.
I am.
So,
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I'm sitting here with an 11-page essay, basically, on all of the research that I've done. There's a lot of little stories and stuff involved. I don't know, it's gonna be a good podcast. If you like creepy shit, definitely stay tuned.
If you don't, then you're like me.
Get the fuck out. Yeah, see you later.
This is your warning.
Yeah, this is a trigger warning. Scary.
Bye.
Spoopy.
It's a spoopy trigger warning.
So, yeah. Okay, well, let's get started then. Just a heads up. I have a little tickle in my throat, so I'm chewing on a piece of gum to kind of subside that. So yeah, if I swallow very annoyingly, excuse that. Alright?
I think because you just pointed it out now, it's going to be much more noticeable.
Good. Okay. So the first topic that I have done some research on is Bloody Mary, which obviously that's like every high school slumber party, like...
High school?
Or sorry, grade
Going
school.
back further
Yeah,
than
okay,
that.
sorry, grade school. Grade school slumber parties.
Bloody Mary.
Okay, well I didn't really do it
Like,
with...
I know a lot of people did.
Yeah.
But...
I didn't do it really with, like, friends. It was more with my cousins, because they loved to scare the shit out of me. So we did Bloody Mary together, and it was...
Oh, you actually did it?
Yeah.
I was too scared to ever actually try it. I didn't want anything intruding in my home, so I never did it.
Since I was a little girl, I've always welcomed spirits into my house, so it's fine. Okay, so just to get into some of the original stories, there's like a couple different stories that kind of came about. So one of the original ones was, it started with Queen Mary the First in the 1500s. She was the Queen of England, obviously, at the time, and she was responsible for burning nearly 300 Protestants on... Is that how you...
Yeah.
I thought you were
Okay.
doing 300 podcasts.
She burned all of the podcasts. 300 Protestants at the stake in attempts to make England more Catholic. She was never actually able to conceive a child, and a lot of people thought it was karma for what she was, like, doing to people. She had 2 false pregnancies, and this is fucking hilarious. I think this shit is so funny. Okay, so the first pregnancy that the bitch thought she had, she, like, looked pregnant. She had all the symptoms of pregnancy. The symptoms, the fucking signs, whatever. So she thought...
caught pregnant.
I have caught the baby.
The side effects.
Yes.
Yeah, side effects, sure, whatever. So she, like, claimed that she felt the baby moving, and basically, by the end of the 9 months...
Can I guess how this ends before you start?
Sure.
She found out there was a small man attached to her the entire time.
It just...
Okay, just please read.
Okay, I'm
Please
just...
keep reading.
Ignore him.
No.
I need to know.
Okay.
I need to know.
So...
Leave a comment if you would.
I fucking hate you, shut up. So, when she was bedridden and she was preparing herself for birth. No baby ever came out.
What?
She
Where'd it go?
She was
Hysterical
in labor.
pregnancy.
She was in labor, like giving birth to nothing.
She had a hysterical pregnancy, yeah.
So I thought it was, but like
Wait, how did she inflate like a regular?
Yeah.
Literally, like
It's when you're so convinced or you really want to be pregnant, your body like mind over matter kind of thing.
It will go into pregnancy for all
Yeah.
kinds of birth. Your uterus will literally expand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
fucking
much.
nuts.
So
Wow.
not
Hashtag
long.
women's
No,
No.
hashtag.
The uterus
It's
is
like
a
the hashtag.
powerful organ.
True.
Can men be hysterically pregnant?
I don't know.
Hopefully, I hope
We
so.
should try.
We should look into that.
I can
Okay.
try to become hysterical.
Partial expansion of the body. Like
Great. Okay, so not long after that, she ended up having another false pregnancy.
this.
Another one. Went through the same symptoms, everything. She looked pregnant, felt pregnant, like everything. She was bloated as fuck, like whatever. The day came where she was supposed to give birth. Again, round 2. She died.
It's a fucking tumor. It was a
Died
tumor, right?
during. That was one of the theories of it, and I'm
That
gonna
was a
kind of
tumor.
get into that. I think maybe I don't know if I looked it up,
She
but
gave
anyways.
birth to a tumor.
So
Like, she had
people,
a
but
tumor.
listen, she literally like she was giving birth and she died. Like obviously there's statistics of women dying during birth.
Yeah.
She literally she died during a what?
There was nothing, right?
There was nothing. So I don't know. It was just
She probably
I
had
thought
a
it
damn heart
was
attack, to be honest. Like,
I think
maybe.
she had a tumor.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh well, just guys, giving birth back then was so dangerous.
But she
Nothing
had
was
no
sterilized.
baby. Like, usually she had, because afterwards...
What if they just they popped her open to take a look and like?
They
found
do,
out
and there
it
was no
Die
baby.
during pregnancy.
but anywho, how does this link back to our lovely lady in the mirror?
So, yes. So today
Waiting for
today obviously you go into a dark room, whatever, all the lights off, and you say Bloody Mary a bunch of times into the mirror, and it says that Bloody Mary appears to individuals or groups who repeatedly chant her name in a mirror. Apparitions appear as a corpse, a witch, or a ghost, usually covered in blood. People sometimes taunt Bloody Mary regarding her fake pregnancies, and it was said that she has become violent with a lot of people, like the ghost, I guess.
Fucking rude,
That's
though.
mean.
Well, yeah, it's more.
You have a baby twice.
Bitch, yeah.
This is the cruelest urban legend ever. But you're taunting this woman over her miscarriages, and she
Not even
comes to attack
miscarriages,
you.
false pregnancy.
I know.
Yeah,
rude.
it's fucked.
It's mean.
So, another part of the story, which I may end up cutting out because I'm reading it now and I'm not really sure if this actually makes sense, but I'm gonna read it anyways and see what happens. So this was a story that came out in 1994, and it's like a story that a woman is telling. When I was about 9 years old, I went to a friend's for a birthday/slumber party. There was about 10 other girls there. Around midnight, we decided to play Mary Worth. I don't know, I guess that's it's like Bloody Mary or Mary Worth, I don't know, whatever. Some of us had never heard of this, so one of the girls told the story. Mary Worth lived a long time ago. She was a very beautiful young girl. One day she had a terrible accident that left her face so disfigured that nobody would look at her. She had not been allowed to see her own reflection after this accident for fear that she would lose her mind. Before this, she had spent long hours admiring her beauty in her bedroom mirror. First of all, this bitch is conceited. Goodbye.
You get what you sow.
She was
what you
looking
sow.
at
I was
That's
gonna
the
say,
same.
close enough.
Yeah, there we go.
What you sow, I think.
One night
Thanks,
after...
Kelpie.
Thanks, Kelpie.
You're welcome, Jumbo.
Okay.
Changing my Twitter handle to Jelpo.
Jelpo.
The hunter becomes the
Yes.
hunted. God bless.
Anyways, one night after everyone had gone to bed, unable to fight the curiosity any longer, she crept into a room that had a mirror. As soon as she saw her face, she broke down into terrible screams and sobs. It was at this moment that mood waking up after a night out, that's horrifying. That's me.
When you squint open your eyes and you're just standing there in shame.
Me.
When I woke up hungover this morning, and I looked really, what the fuck did I do?
I think the only word I can describe that feeling is crusty. You wake up feeling crusty.
She looked in the mirror, instantly thought, bitch, I look crusty as fuck. Poor Mary Worth. Anyways, it was at that moment that she was so heartbroken and wanted her old reflection back.
She was so heartbroken and crusty.
Yeah. She walked into the mirror to find it, vowing to disfigure anybody that came looking for her in the mirror.
Whoa.
After hearing this story, which was told very scarily, we decided...
Scarily.
I know. I'm just reading it. We decided to turn out all the lights and try it. We all huddled around the mirror and started repeating, Mary Worth, I believe in Mary Worth. About
There's no mirrors in this room, I'm pretty sure.
About the 7th time, we said it.
There are mirrors in here? Like, I looked around too.
I think the lights have to be
I hope there's... the lights are
No, we're
kinda
good,
off,
we're good.
But, yeah.
We're
safe.
Yeah, what is lights off? Is it like main power current? Like, there's never any real rules with this, right?
Yeah, what is lights
True,
off?
yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, so one of the girls that was in front of the mirror started screaming and trying to push her way back away from the mirror. She was screaming so loud that my friend's mom came running into the room. She quickly turned on the lights and found this girl huddled in the corner screaming. She turned her around to see what the problem was and saw these long fingernail scratches running down her cheek. I will never forget her face as long as I live. So, basically the whole theory was that Mary Worth scratched up her face and tried to disfigure her because they were calling out to her. Blah, blah,
That's
blah.
fucking
It sounds
rude,
like-
Mary. I mean, you got your own problems. Don't fucking put it on other people. Like, my God.
Goodness.
Well,
That's a little, like, cruel, like, you know.
yeah.
I would like to go back to
What?
the Mary Worth origin story. She was disfigured, and
Yes.
nothing supernatural going on.
Yeah.
Then she just straight up walks into the mirror.
Yeah, let's talk about
Like a
this.
Zack and Cody episode.
She runway struts her way.
She's like, bitch, I need to find my old self.
Are you
She
just-
goes into the mirror.
Are you just allowed to do that when you get like horribly disfigured?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'll just walk into the mirror, guys. You'll
I
have
have a
to
question.
summon-
I do have a question though. How does Miss Mary Worth and Queen Mary, like, how do they like cross?
It was just like,
what
two
is their
different
crop
stories
reference?
about like the I don't know.
I think
don't fucking know.
Mary
I just
is
looked
just
it
a
up
good
online.
name. Mary's just a good spirit name for
Bloody
something
Marie.
creepy.
I have something, like, one thing I fucking noticed. You know, this Mary chick, instead of dealing with her problems, she fucking haunts people.
Like, how
Like,
do you
know
deal
what
with
I
your
mean? Like,
problems?
maybe when people call out to you, you could appear like, hey, so I was really fucking vain in my life, and I'm
So
here
what?
to tell you that you shouldn't be vain
like,
because you're not gonna have your looks forever. Like, no, I'm not saying you're gonna be disfigured, but you know what I mean. Like, so my whole thing is like, Jesus Christ, Mary, you could have
God damn it, Mary.
y'all could have used your experience to teach some of these girls a wholesome lesson. But no, you gotta haunt people. Like, that's real selfish.
Well,
I'm a little ticked.
Well, confounded all Noel, you've done
Confound.
You've done put Mary in her damned
Watch.
place.
Now she's gonna haunt me. I'll go home tonight.
Yeah, like-
She's gonna.
I'll
I know she said
casually-
she's gonna hotmail you.
Yeah.
Send me an email, honey.
MSN.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna go
MSN
home
me.
tonight. I'm gonna casually glance in my bathroom mirror, and who's gonna be fucking behind me? Fucking Mary Worth.
Miss Marie herself, Barbara.
And she's gonna be offended. I'm gonna have to give her a moral lesson because
Perfect.
from what
They just
the
debate with each
description,
other.
it seems like we're probably older than her, so I'm gonna have to like give her a good lesson
Yeah.
Older
No, of
on
course.
knowing thyself.
True.
Okay, end of rant.
Okay. No, that's great.
I just had to say that.
So, great. Somebody went on to kind of explain the whole Bloody Mary thing to try and be like, okay, y'all are fucking crazy. So, one of the theories, I guess, that came out of it was that, like, I guess staring into a mirror in a dimly lit room for a long time can actually cause hallucinations.
Yeah.
So that's
heard that.
that's a lot of the reason why I guess people see things, and
Yeah.
also possible self-hypnosis,
Yeah.
which, like, also I get it.
Yeah.
So, like, you know,
I
That's
just
the
think
thing, like when you're like if you're putting yourself in that situation, like you're standing in front of a mirror, the lights are off, you're kind of looking for something.
yeah.
And I feel like when you're looking for things like that, any little
You'll be
thing
able to
that
see it,
happens,
yeah.
you'll take it as that.
I always thought Bloody Mary was one of the more unbelievable of the urban legends.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I
agree.
never like believe it's just something that's designed to freak you out because they know like most people aren't gonna try that
Yeah.
because it's gonna freak them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So like everyone's gonna debate because some people are gonna go on and say, "Oh, I did this and blah blah blah, nothing happened."
Yeah,
and then
no,
there's
true.
gonna be trolls who are posting online like, "I saw Mary and like she like scratched me."
Well, yeah, and
Here's a picture. This isn't cat scratches. It's Mary. I promise.
with internet culture as well, you can make up anything you
Oh,
want
yeah.
because you don't.
Yeah.
Because you won't prove it.
A
No,
65-year-old woman probably wrote what you read.
Honestly,
Yeah.
probably. So that was what I got. I don't know.
Person.
20-year-old dude.
Dwarf.
Yeah, it was just whatever. I thought it was interesting. Oh, and I actually took it out because I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about it because it didn't really like connect to Bloody Mary itself. But I actually read that like back in the day, women would walk up their stairs backwards, in the dark, holding a mirror in one hand and a candle in the other hand. And basically the theory was if you're like while looking into the mirror, you would either see your future husband's face or the Grim Reaper. So if you saw obviously your future husband's face, you'd get married, blah blah blah, whatever. But if you saw the face of the Grim Reaper, which was like usually like a skeleton face, you would die before you got married.
Trump's face appears in your mirror and you die.
Oh my god.
But you never mention it. Do you guys know why she's called Bloody Mary?
Because she used to like.
She used to paint her face with the blood of her victims because she thought it kept her youthful, and she took baths in it and shit. Like she took blood baths.
Shit.
Fuck, I didn't read any about that. I didn't
Yeah.
know about that.
I thought you were gonna say it. That's why I didn't want to
I learned
reveal
about
it.
all the factual notes.
No. That's inspired.
That's why they called her
It's
Bloody
the
Mary.
inspiration behind Elizabeth Bathory, who was like this countess in like
something like that. It all ties together.
Okay.
Yeah. She would literally she would steal virgins from the nearby villages and bathe in their blood.
Disclaimer: this podcast may not be historically accurate.
Literally, like, please don't take our word seriously. This could all be false.
What if you're gonna be, like, obviously, like, domestic violence was rampant back then. What if, like, you were gonna be killed by your husband? Who do you fucking see?
Wow.
Well, you're still getting married though.
question.
You're still getting like it's just to determine whether you would get married
He just
or
looks
die.
angry at you in the mirror. His face is just
His face is just not happy.
Yeah.
And then you just know.
He looks like he just came home from the bar after a few beers and he's
His face is acting.
It's just pouty.
Just not happy.
But for
okay.
now, this case remains
Unsolved.
I'm triggered.
We're getting copyrighted now. Like we're gonna.
Oh fuck.
Sorry.
Okay. On to the next topic. This is this shit fucks me up because this is like real shit. Like this isn't like
This isn't Dear David?
No. We're not there yet. Don't worry. This is like actual real shit that happens. This is like going into sleep paralysis, which fucking fascinates me.
Yeah,
It's
Fascinates me. It's
absolutely.
okay. So I'm gonna kind of go on and like read.
I love sleep paralysis. It's so fucking.
It's so fucking cool.
No, not fun to be in. I'll tell you right
like,
now.
and, like the learning about
It's
it, like
fucking
the understanding and like the psychology behind it. That's what.
Okay, so basically I have a description
I
from
it's like fucking scary.
I have
It
like
is fucking scary.
Quiet on set.
So basically I have like a description of what it is from. Wow, my papers are falling apart. This is how thick my stack is. Anyways,
a stapler.
no, it's fine. I'll just hold it. It's fine.
Good mid-show stapling.
I can go against it.
No, it's fine. It's fine, honestly. So I basically got a description of it that I thought was really interesting to read, like just from like an article, and then I have a story of just like sleep paralysis. Like somebody posted their story online. I thought it was interesting. Anthony, next time he's in the podcast, he actually deals with sleep paralysis, so I want to get a lot of his input. He couldn't be here today, so I want to get a lot of his input on like a lot of the stories he's been through, like just the shit he's seen and like whatever. So that'll be like in another podcast, but I just figured I'd touch on it because it actually relates to the next story, which is the Dear David story. So sleep paralysis, it basically happens when you're just waking up or just falling asleep. A person is unaware but they can't move, they're aware but they can't move. One can hear, feel, or see things that aren't there, often results in fear. So this is the description from an article, which again I thought was really interesting. The realization behind heavy-lidded eyes that you are asleep yet awake at the same time. You find yourself totally unable to move, cry out, or even whimper. The fear creeps in, gripping your entire being as you try to wake yourself. But no matter how much willpower and effort you put forth into trying to move a finger, whisper for help, or roll out of bed to slam your body on the floor, you're absolutely trapped. You are a prisoner in your body. You can't even breathe loudly enough to alert the person next to you. And then the real fear comes. You sense someone or something else in the room, watching you, creeping toward you, perhaps even pinning you down. You can do nothing. You cannot escape. You cannot cry out. You cannot move. It whispers to you in a song, both melodic?
Yeah.
Melodic
Yeah.
and dark with the mocking voice of childhood fear. And then suddenly you burst into waking as if you've been smashed back to earth, the room spinning as the tendrils of darkness slip from your frozen, sweat-glistening limbs.
Did Edgar Allan Poe write this description?
Yeah. The boy himself.
Totally.
You gasp for air. You look around, filled with terror, afraid to close your eyes. When you do, you feel the paralysis creeping back over your body, forcing you to get back up, turn on the lights, and try to shake off the nightmare that casts a long shadow over both the psychological and physical worlds. I thought that was pretty fucking neat.
That's a really good
I've had sleep paralysis before. Never that bad. Like, I've never had my eyes open. And, like, at first, like, you kind of get used to it. Like, at first, you kind of learn how to get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
And so I definitely relate to that. The only time I really had anything close to that was when I was asleep, but it felt like somebody was reaching through my mattress and grasping my hand.
Yeah.
And just first time it felt real.
That's
and that's
so
the thing.
weird.
When people go through sleep paralysis, it's scary because you don't know what's real or not, and that's just my.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't have it as bad as some people.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, and that's you really wonder what the hell you're seeing, and is it real or is it not real?
Yeah.
No, I've suffered from night terrors like the majority of my life, and like it's fucked. Like you become in this state where you cannot differentiate what is reality and what is not reality.
Because part of you is awake.
And that's the thing, and then, like, I couldn't even imagine being in that state, like that mind frame, because the mind frame is similar, and not being able to move. Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when I go into a night terror, it's fight or flight, and I usually run. Like, I usually leave. Like, that's how I deal with it.
When I was in high school, one of my best friends, she dealt with sleep paralysis, but we didn't realize at the time that it was sleep paralysis. So we would be talking about it, and she's like, yeah, I remember seeing, like, something in the corner of my room, like a big kind of spider thing in the corner of my room.
Gross.
And I remember not being able to move, and she told me about one where it was, like, this big, dark figure standing at the edge of her bed,
That's
and it
fucked.
reached out and, like, scratched her ankle or something,
Ugh.
and she, like, couldn't move, and, like, just a bunch of stories like that from her.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying, because
Oh, of
at
course.
the time we were, like, what, grade 10? So we had no idea what sleep paralysis was, we had no idea what was going on, so we thought either it was a night terror, like a really bad night terror, or there was actually something in our house.
Yeah.
For someone to who doesn't know what sleep paralysis is,
That's gotta be
to
horrifying.
see like a demon is gonna be like that's probably what half of like the old cases of like people thinking they had demons in their house was like. I'm not saying all of them, but like a big majority of them were probably when they didn't know what sleep paralysis was, people thinking that they were actually being haunted.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
So if you think you're being haunted, check your doctor for sleep paralysis.
Well, I mean, like,
Check your
don't you know that?
Paralysis?
Check out your doctor.
Check out your doctor.
Don't
He's
you know
probably
when
hot.
it's happening though?
No.
Like, but okay.
You don't know
I
if it's
can't.
real
I've never
or not.
experienced it. So
Yeah.
I can't. But one thing, one little. Are we still on sleep paralysis here?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
moving on.
No, yeah.
One little thing I wanted to bring up, just kind of a side note, which I was reading about, because I have to go get a small surgery soon, and I don't know, I'm stupid, so I decided to look up anesthetic awareness, which is.
Fuck off. That's the worst thing you could have done.
I don't even know why I did it.
Oh
But-
my god. So basically, anesthetic awareness is when doctors put you under for a surgery.
Yeah.
So you're asleep, but you can feel everything.
Yeah, well, no,
So
yeah.
every poke, every cut,
It
every
only-
tear, every pull, everything. You feel it all in full, like...
It only happens with certain surgeries because it only happens when they have to use a paralyzing agent for like heart surgeries or stuff. It's not for everything, but yeah, it mixes with the anesthetic. So basically, you can see, but you can't move anything. You can't relay that you're conscious to your doctors.
Yeah.
And like you can feel it. So I was reading this one Reddit story, like it was a Reddit Ask Me Anything, and this woman had experienced it, and it was an Achilles tendon surgery in her ankle.
Oh my
And
god.
She said like it was a 2.5 hour surgery, and people were like, well, how'd you get through it? She's like, I tried to sing in my head, like I tried to imagine like good times, but she was like, the worst thing was the first cut with the scalpel, and then she panicked when she heard the bone saw, but there was nothing she could do about it, and like she was awake through all of it. But I guess people who actually go through it, they need like hardcore therapy for PTSD. Like,
Yeah.
afterwards.
I'm not surprised.
And a lot of the times they don't have any proof, so
Yeah.
they can't sue the hospital over it.
Yeah, because there is no proof.
Because basically they have to. The anesthesiologist is the one who's at fault for that, but they can't prove it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Wow.
yeah.
It's fucked.
That's fucking nuts.
Whenever you have as a warning, they always just say to talk to your anesthesiologist and like tell them that you're worried about it and like be like make sure, because I guess there's things they can do.
To,
They
like,
can monitor
figure it
you.
out, yeah.
So like Like, I'd be like, hook up anything you need to. Like,
I mean,
put a
I
pin
feel
in me and
your
tell me
heart
when.
rate would,
Yeah,
like, give
something
you
like
away.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways,
your
that's
eyes
kind of
would-
similar to sleep paralysis, but much more horrifying. I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, I had. It was like a, what do they call it? Like anesthetic awareness. I had like a degree of it during my tonsillectomy when I was in grade 5.
Yeah.
And like it was more, I was numb, but I could feel like, I don't know. It was more, it felt like pressure in my face. Like that's what I could feel.
No, I had a biopsy done on one of my bones, and they don't put you out for it, they just kind of freeze the area. So I felt most of it. And like I felt them hammer into the bone, I heard it crack, I felt the needle go in.
See you later.
It sucks.
Yeah,
it's bad. I can't imagine a 2.5 hour surgery.
No, that'd be fucked.
Anyways.
So back to sleep paralysis. So I just have like a little story that somebody had posted online that I found. So I'm just gonna read that story. Sleep paralysis for me, apart from the obvious paralysis part, is usually accompanied by sheer, unimaginable terror. It takes different forms, but it tends to be a pitch-black creature of some sort, and all I can say is that it's 100 times more terrifying than anything you could imagine while you're sitting there fully awake and conscious. You imagine and visualize this thing, which you have no escape from, and there's nothing you can do apart from hoping it ends soon. Also, you might try to move or speak, but you never really know if you're doing it in real life or in this semi-dream state. It takes a tremendous amount of effort either way. I remember once waking up in sleep paralysis and trying to call to someone and hearing my brother on the other side of my bedroom door asking if I was trying to talk to him. My brother doesn't live with me, but it seemed absolutely real at the moment.
That's
so
crazy.
weird.
So
Yeah.
no, like honestly, like that, I was just gonna bring that up. The shit that you see in those kind of like subconscious like places, like it's fucked. Like the way that my night terrors presented themselves when I was a kid was like, it was this cat, and I remember this like so vividly.
Ew.
It was this cat, and like it had like I remember this so vividly. It had like a red diamond on its fucking forehead, and like if I in like these like places, if I was in the room as the same person while I was in the room with this cat, the person would die. And that's how it like presented itself every single time. And I would like try to run away from this cat because I felt bad about like.
Fuck.
It's like some three-eyed raven shit.
No,
like,
What's going on here?
And it was fucked up. Like my dad, I tried to like leave my house one night. Like I tried to break out of my house when I was like 12 years old.
God.
I got up one night and started yelling, and my dad tried to stop me from getting out like the door and pick me up. And I started screaming like just profanities at him and just like yelling because like you don't know, you literally don't know. You can't. Your mind can't make sense of that shit.
Probably thought you
It's
were
fucking
possessed.
Dead ass, like fuck.
Great.
Again, I wonder if people like obviously like sometimes like they thought possessions were like they were really mental illness, but I wonder if that could be part of it too. Like people were actually just having night terrors or having sleep paralysis, and they just like thought they were possessed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's definitely a very interesting
That's
thought.
eye-opening.
Damn.
I would have died if I was born like too early. LOL. Like,
Damn, like
Wow.
fuck. That's crazy. Okay, well, this kind of leads into the next story. This is a bit of a longer story. I've condensed it down quite a bit, and it's still
Is
like
Kelsey leaving for this one?
Is this
I don't-
for David?
this is the Dear
No, I'm
David
gonna
story.
go.
Alright,
Okay.
Kelsey is
No, that's
gonna be
fine.
out
Alright,
for the next
text
few
me when it's
minutes.
done.
Sounds good. Okay.
Alrighty.
Goodbye, Kelpie. We'll
Bye,
see you later.
Goodbye.
Okay, so this story actually blew up pretty big on Twitter. He has a really big following. The guy's name is Adam Ellis.
Shout out to Ellis.
Literally, I suggest every single person listening, whoever the fuck is listening, to go to his actual Twitter account and read his fucking story. His Twitter handle is @Moby_dickhead.
Don't let it take away from the effectiveness.
Literally. So he's actually like
He's a cook.
No, I was gonna say
Cook?
Shut up. He's like he creates like comics. Like he's like I don't know,
He's a comic book
artist, whatever you want to call him. He's
Awesome.
fucking dope though. So yeah, that's where the story starts. He posts like the entire story on Twitter. It actually goes all the way back to August of 2017. It's been an ongoing story.
I remember
And like he's still
reading it,
updating. Like we're looking at 8 months later,
Yeah.
and he's still updating.
I've actually found this around September because I was watching a YouTube video and it was like strange online occurrences, and this was actually one of the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a lot of people talking about
Yeah, it's definitely a really crazy story, and I'm kind of very obsessed with it. Like, I think about it a lot.
We check him
I'm
pretty
sure-
regularly. Like,
Yeah,
what is
I
his
have his Twitter notifications on my
Yeah.
phone, so when he tweets, I literally get a notification. Like, I think about it so
We
much. I
follow
don't know.
So-
we discussed it a lot.
Just preface. It all started. I remember preface. We were at like a bar one night for one of our friends' shows, and I saw my friend had retweeted it, and like I saw it a couple days earlier, and there's eventually you'll come to find that there are pictures associated with this story, and I saw one, and my skin like felt like it like shrunk, like
Yeah.
my bones were chilled, and I knew Selena would love it, so I show her this. She takes my phone, she has it for like 2 hours, and she's reading through the entire thing. So
Yeah. I'm also gonna try with my editing skills and see how that works. I'm gonna try and put the pictures along with the story. So if you're like, you'll be watching this on YouTube, so if you're actually interested in seeing the pictures, I'm gonna try and edit them into this actual clip. So follow along. I'm gonna be passing my phone around that has the pictures on it, so the other people in the room
I
can
don't want to
see
see them again.
That's fine. You don't have to see them, but like if you guys want to see them,
Once
that's
was
great.
enough.
Yeah, I'm like down to see them 100,000 times over again. And like I said, this is a very condensed version. There are a lot of things that are actually missing from the story, but I kind of grabbed like the main, like the
She
main
got
bulk of it.
She got the gist. You got
Yes.
the
But
gist.
definitely check it out.
Please, definitely check
He
it out.
actually made a feed, like a live, not a live feed, but like a
No,
like
it's literally like a story you can just click through.
yeah, so
like
you can get them all there.
yeah, he posted like all of his tweets in one place, so you don't have to scroll too much, I guess. But however you want to do it, definitely go check it out. So I'm just gonna talk about it now. Okay, so our boy Adam, he actually started this whole thing experiencing episodes of sleep paralysis. So that's kind of where that whole thing stems from. So in his dream, he saw a little boy with a deformed head sitting in the green rocking chair that was at the foot of his bed. A few nights later, he had another dream where a girl asked him, or said to him, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" And at this point, So she reportedly told Adam that David only appears at midnight, and he could ask the boy 2 questions if he said "Dear David" first, but if he asked 3 questions, David would kill him. When David appeared in his dreams again, Adam forgot the warning and ended up asking the ghost 3 questions. He basically asked the boy what ended up happening to him, and I guess it was just like an accident at a store.
Like, I was gonna know, like, okay, never mind.
Like basically like a shelf fell on him or something, and it like fucked up his head. And then so that was that.
Adam's not the brightest.
So nothing really happened. So that was actually before he started the initial tweets. So nothing happened for a few months.
Can I just add it? He had just this was happening in a new apartment he moved into.
Yeah.
Yes.
He moved into a new apartment building when this started happening. So it's not like it was like a random thing. Like he moved into a new place.
Yeah. So nothing happened for a few months. His life went on, whatever. So Adam's apartment is basically set up so there's two apartments in one building. So it's like there's one on the lower level, one on the upper level. That's just how it's set up. So he started in the downstairs level, and then he was able to go upstairs because the the tenant moved out, and it was bigger than his, so he decided to take it, whatever. He ended up moving upstairs. So then the week after he had moved in, the cats started staring at the front door at exactly midnight. There are videos along with that. He posts a lot of videos of his cats at the door, just like meowing and like being really uncomfortable, so go check it out on his page. He ended up buying a recorder, and he tried to pick up audio when he was sleeping. At one point he picked up what sounded like footsteps and what sounded like some odd like electric static that only shows up in one of the recordings, so it was kind of weird.
Yeah, that one was weird.
So then one day he posted a selfie, and in the background of the selfie, and I will post these pictures, you can see an outline of a little boy with a deformed head, and like you have to like zoom into it, but it's really fucking creepy. So I'm just gonna like post this. So swipe, Logan. So like swipe this way to see the next picture. So that was that. It was really fucking creepy. So he ended up having another dream a few months later. of David walking Adam through an abandoned warehouse, dragging him by his arm. And the next morning, Adam woke up with bruises on his arm, the same place that David grabbed his arm in the dream, which is kind of fucking weird. He ended up buying a camera for his house to watch his cats while he went away on vacation. He caught videos of the rocking chair in his house moving on its own. He also got a video of a turtle shell that was hanging on his wall. It fell to the floor.
And that's the thing, like, throughout this, like, he does try to explain some of it.
Yeah, he definitely tries to come up with, like, even with the rocking chair, he was like, there is no draft that comes into my house, like, this has never happened before, it was just that one time, and, like, his cats weren't near the chair.
So it's not like he was just like, oh, it's haunted, like, he actually thought about it.
Yeah, he was trying to rationalize it in his head, like, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm, like, my apartment's haunted.
I can't side with Adam, I have to side with David, because, there was the one simple rule that he had to follow was don't ask more than 2 questions.
No, agreed.
And like,
I agree.
You won one rule. That was the only thing you had to do.
David is now up to claiming a soul.
Okay, anyways, I was upset by that when you said it, so I agree. I had to get it out because I was getting heated over here.
Great. So he also got videos of his cats swiping their paws at, like, nothing in the air, like, as if they're trying to, like, reach for something, but there was nothing near them. They also were jumping over invisible objects just on the floor. Like, it almost seemed as if they were just, like, jumping over something. At the end of October, he noticed a figure outside of the roof on the building next to his apartment.
Yep.
So he took a picture of what was outside to see what it was. Oh my god, no. That picture was unexpected. Freaked me the fuck out.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Whoa, we got a whoopsie.
Whoa.
That's what we're gonna do now every time someone messes up. You know, say,
okay, I actually don't have it on my phone. I didn't download it onto my phone.
We got a whoopsie here, guys.
It's gonna be there. But it was basically just a child outside of his window, just like in the distance on the roof next door. It was
just staring at.
It was fucking weird. Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I saw that.
I'd fucking scream.
Neither.
What do you do?
I would firmly ask him where his parents are.
I would
the fuck
out.
Yeah, so,
but like you're responsible.
So like Adam has seen what David looks like, obviously. So when he looks out onto this roof, he knows it's David. Like it's what he's seen before, whatever.
And he's seeing a kid with like a chunk of his head missing.
Yeah, it's like it's fucked.
Not like some kids just fucking around on the roof. Like,
and he also drew out a sketch of what David looked like in his sleep paralysis. So again, go to his
David
fucking
would be so good about teaching children about fractions.
Fuck.
What fraction of David's head is this?
Goodbye. See you later. So then a month and a half goes by, and it leads us into November. He dreams of David again, but David is more hostile and choking. So he's more hostile in this dream. And I guess what happens is David starts on, like, at the foot of his bed, there's, like, a couch. So David starts there, and he begins to start crawling up toward the bed and, like, trying to get up on Adam. not in a cute way.
Jinkies.
So in the dream, Adam ends up grabbing his camera, like his phone, I should say, and he starts taking pictures. The next morning, he realizes that he actually has pictures on his phone, and he goes through them and sees the pictures of David. You'll have to definitely turn up your brightness for this. It's 3 pictures, so if you want to swipe through them. That shit fucked me up. Adam discovered not long after that above his apartment, there's an empty space where he was hearing thumping.
Yeah, like someone was walking or falling. And...
So he finds a hatch, and I'll actually post a picture. He, like, drew out the layout of his apartment building, so, like, you'll be able to see that. So he finds out that there's a hatch in the hallway outside of his apartment, and he assumed that it led directly to the roof, but it ends up actually leading to this attic area. Pretty much. So after investigating, he finds an old shoe and a marble, which could have been the cause of some of the sounds, but, like, what the fuck was moving those objects?
And he did ask the landlord about it, too.
Yeah.
And the landlord even actually stuck his head up there and looked around.
Yeah, that's how he found the marble. And, there was
the shoe, when he opened the hatch, he opened it with, like, a tall pole, the shoe fell out.
Yeah. So, like, it was just, like, it was weird circumstances. They didn't find any animals up there, so, like, and there's no way to get in there from the roof, so, like, nothing could have caused that.
Yeah, it's
those
like the
sounds.
bird
That's how I do
Yeah.
all those things.
Yeah, so one of the most the fucking creepiest update, I think, actually happened on December 12th of 2017.
This one's weird.
Adam, I guess, started feeling like something was watching him while he slept, and he would wake up in a panic thinking he would see something around him. So he decided to download an app on his phone that would take a picture every 60 seconds. This shit fucked me up. The pictures captured David in 4 different places in Adam's room. Again, I'm going to post the fucking pictures because fuck me up. One of them was standing on the couch across from his bed, and it ended up like falling over, and it was like a weird fucking thing. One was standing next to his bed looking at Adam.
One was on top of him, wasn't it?
I'm getting there, don't you worry. One of them was on his bed hovering over him, and then the last one was right in front of the camera. And that shit fucked me up. There's the pictures.
Well, like, what got me is when you look at the picture where he's like hovering over Adam, there is a point where when you like look at it, you can see that David's head's turned. He's looking at the camera.
Yeah. There is. I don't know if I actually like downloaded that one, but like I said, there's more pictures to it. I just got like the few of them, but like one of them, yeah, he looks right at the camera, and then the next picture is his head directly in front of the camera, and like you see the details of his grimy ass fucking hair and like his deformed ass ear. Like, it's
I want to add in that I think David has very nice hair, and I would never say anything to insult David's hair. Please don't come after me, David.
Bye.
Anyways,
Anyways,
what's interesting too, like these pictures, like when you look at them, there's no way that he could have stood. Even let's say he, like some people are gonna say, oh, it's a doll. There's no way. One, it's child size, but 2, there's no way he could have been laying on his bed, and like he's like comatose, like he's looking, he's not even like, it's not like he's laying on his back, like he's laying on his back, but his head is like looking sideways, like there's no way for him to be holding any sort of prop up
which one are you looking at?
while this is happening, you know what I mean? Like it's not like he like it's not
Standing
like
next to the bed.
these could be staged, because some of them, like again, like arguably the camera one could be staged, but like the one where he's laying down, like there's no way for him to be holding any sort of prop over it. You know what I mean? And there's no other person in the room. There's no like strings or anything. There's nothing like this like it seems pretty legit.
Listen,
I'm not an expert,
I know,
but it seemed like I looked.
Yeah.
I was looking for.
Listen, like
rationality.
really,
I found nothing.
ultimately though, like even playing devil's advocate right now, Photoshop is always a thing. So like
True, yeah.
ultimately
Yeah.
it could have been Photoshopped
Yeah.
in, like. But I don't know what it is about the story. Like, I, like, a lot of story, like, I'm very desensitized to, like, a lot of creepy stories and, like, especially, like, ghost stories and stuff like that. Like, this story, I don't know what it is, but when I read about it, I just get the chills. I get so, like...
I can
like,
watch any horror movie, like, at midnight in the dark by myself, and I won't get scared. But David, like, gave me chills.
Dear David fucks me right up. Anyways, so we'll keep on going with the story.
Because I guess it's like, seems so real.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
It's
any story that claims to be real and also has pictures, it makes it more, like, believable and creepy.
Yeah, and also the fact that this has been going on for, like, 8 months. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if this was, like, a couple
Does he
months,
not have,
like,
better things to do with his time?
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't... Anyway.
Then again, though, this could... Well, actually, no. We'll talk about these theories after.
There's theories?
Oh, no. Like, just a theory I thought of.
Yeah.
So anyways, so after the whole December 12th post, whatever, he ends up posting that he's going away for a couple of weeks back home to Montana. He lives in New York, so he's going to Montana, and he's going to stay with his parents for, like, the Christmas break a little bit. So just to kind of get him out of the house, to get him away.
And you can tell he, like, through the
just like the more he talks about it, you can tell he's getting
relieved.
more hopeless.
Yeah, but he's
like,
also relieved to get out.
Well, of course, yeah,
like,
but he's
trying
feeling
to look for new apartments. It's not working.
Yeah,
out.
like he's feeling very hopeless in the sense that he doesn't know if he can get away from it. So he's just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going. So January 2nd, we get some tweets from him. So yeah, he goes home for the break. He ends up starting to wake up in the middle of the night, like just to go to the washroom. But when he looks outside, he is convinced that he can see something or someone out there, and after a couple nights of kind of noticing this, he's just like, fuck it. The next morning he ends up going outside to just go and like check it out, see if anything had shown up. In Montana there was a lot of snow, So the next morning he goes and he sees small footprints in the snow. So he actually starts to like freak out because now he's thinking that like David is following him.
And it doesn't. At this point, I think too, like you realize. At this point, I feel like you realize it doesn't matter if he gets a new apartment. If this thing can follow him everywhere, then you're kind of fucking stuck.
Yeah. No, guys, there's also the possibility that this is nothing supernatural and it's straight up just a small crazy guy who's stalking this guy.
True.
I'm not. No, that's
okay. More theories after. Shh.
Okay,
I want to finish the story.
Yeah.
I want to finish the story first. Okay, so. So then he basically starts to freak out, thinking that, like, David can follow him, the spirit isn't just attached to his apartment building. So, he's starting to fucking freak out now. So the day after... So as you can tell, my mic started making a really weird noise, so I'm just kind of gonna fill it in after the fact. So basically the day after Christmas, he flies back to his apartment in New York, and he says he's been having nightmares and feeling sick. He says that he sees David in his dreams floating in the corner of his room. He watches David's mouth move as if he's saying something, but there's no sound coming out. On one particular night, David is floating directly over Adam in his dream, and he says he can see David's mouth moving faster than a normal human's mouth should be moving when they're talking, but he still can't hear anything. And then he says that David plummets downwards and Adam feels a huge pressure on his chest and wakes up winded. He still has his camera set up because, you know, the past few nights he's been seeing these dreams, whatever, like seeing shit in his dreams. So he's been still using that app on his phone that takes the pictures. Again, I'm gonna post this fucking picture with it. This is the picture that he ends up catching. And basically it's a picture of David dead ass falling on top of Adam, which is fucking weird. So since that update, he's come onto Twitter to mention that in an Instagram story he posted, one of the pictures ended up getting distorted and it like fucked up his face. It's actually like in my camera roll, so just
why does it look like David is wearing cargo shorts?
He has a good sense of style, I guess. But yeah, I'll post a picture as well. He, like, in his Instagram story, like, one of the pictures, like, fucks up. Oh, I didn't put it in this roll. Anyways. And it just, like, fucks up, and it looks like another face is over his face, and it looks like David. So you can, like, as the tweets go on, you can sense his hopelessness, and it actually is, like, really fucking sad. Like, it's just genuinely sad.
Like, I really feel bad for this guy.
Yeah. So, like, as of doing all of my research, his last tweet that he posted was on February 3rd. And all it said was, everything is fine. And, like, he is very proper with his English when he writes. It's, like, capital letter at the beginning, punctuation, like, everything is, like, perfect. In this tweet, the first word was not capitalized. There was no punctuation, and there was an extra space between the words is and fine. So it just, like, the whole tweet was just up.
No.
We're almost done, so you can, like, we've gotten through, like, the bulk of it, so, like, you're fine.
Kelsey was just coming to check if we were done.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And then after that, he actually ended up, I didn't write this down in my notes because it was after I made the notes. He ended up just, like, tweeting a little bit about his life and, like, some projects he was working on. So, like, it was okay. But in the last tweet about that, he basically went to go again and say, like, I'm fine, or, like, everything is good. And again, there was that extra space between, like, the word is and good, or, like, whatever it was. And, like, I don't know, something's just throwing me off. So me and Noelle are convinced that he's possessed. So just, like, to talk about it quick, because I don't want to stay on this discussion too long. There obviously is the possibility that it could all be photoshopped, it could all be a fake story, because really he is an artist just trying to gain attention. So, like, it could have been the fact that he wanted to gain attention and gain followers, and, like, obviously he's gained a huge following from this, so it could just be that, or I don't know what you were saying.
I mean, it'd be really good PR.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
honestly,
definitely.
like, I mean, like, okay, so this sounds crazy, but consider the fact that, like, just like a couple of years ago, there was a story where this man thought that he had, like, a ghost in his house because food was going missing and he kept seeing things and hearing shadows.
I'm waiting for the end of this and I feel like I'm
And it turns out there was a ragamuffin woman living in his ventilation systems, coming out when he was sleeping, stealing his food,
That's fucking nuts.
living in his vent. So like, it's not crazy to say that he might have some little little dwarf, little person living in his house, and like maybe he could be psychotic, escaped from some kind of institution, but literally just like stalking him and freaking him the fuck
So
out.
you're telling
And
me?
the dreams could be his brain making it into something more than it is. I'm not kidding,
So
guys.
you're
Like,
telling me you think that a dwarf
yes.
is following this guy around? Why? Like,
Whose man's?
oh man. Second of all, holy fuck, I think someone living in your fucking vents is fucking scarier than your David. Because people are fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The minute I found out, like, if I listen to a story where people get murdered and I find out the person was living in the fucking house, I'm done. I'm fucking
Yeah,
done.
That's it.
I'm out.
Like-
That is it. Goodbye.
Okay, so I also have another quick question about David.
Okay.
He's obviously a physical being because he makes footprints in the snow.
Yes.
Is he? So he's not a ghost.
He's a poltergeist, I think.
He's an object. He's physical. Like he's there.
I think he's a
Yeah.
poltergeist.
Could Adam literally take a golf club and just whack him?
Dude,
Yo,
honestly,
do you-
I need that update. I need that fucking
Like,
update of him
But
whacking
I'm actually
David.
wondering though. Like,
Adam
he
Ellis,
shows
please
up in
confirm.
Literally,
he shows up
like,
in images
at
and he leaves footprints.
Moby_dickhead.
So is he a physical being or is he a spirit? Like I don't know.
I
It's-
think he's a poltergeist. Because poltergeists cause trouble.
well, all poltergeists can really do is throw shit around.
Well, David can move.
So
shit
if
around.
a poltergeist can move shit around, they
They-
can obviously like.
Maybe he just moved the snow.
Here's the thing though,
Yeah.
whether or not this is like another really cool part about this, whether or not any of this is actually real or correct, Adam Ellis, what he's done is effectively create a new sort of horror genre that we've never really seen before.
That's-
This
Yeah.
idea of taking social media and combining it with the horror genre in order to create
Yeah.
this kind of comprehensive story.
You didn't know this was a surprise lecture on social media,
I
did
hate
you?
it. Oh
but
my
it
God.
definitely is like an interesting thought
Yeah,
process. to
no,
see
that's
how
very
people are
interesting.
We
creating
tricked
like
you listeners into learning something today.
that.
The more you know.
Whoa, whoa.
Anyways, okay.
Oh.
So that was
Oh my
the
God, that's for my
Dear David
president.
story. Same. So that was the Dear David story. Honestly, like I said, I can't explain it. I can't explain the whole thing to make it creepy. Like you have to go fucking read it.
Yeah.
I honestly highly recommend it, whether you believe in it or not. It's honestly
It's a good ride.
It's a good fucking read. So please go read
It's
it.
a good ride to go on.
So yeah, that was that. Next topic. This is actually about a sentencing that was like a trial that was just completed. What's the word? I don't know. Like concluded. Sure, whatever.
Oh boy.
So this is about the Slenderman killings.
Oh,
I kind of-
this
I
was
wanted-
just concluded?
I hate
Yeah,
that.
they
Like,
just
yeah.
they just sentenced
Oh my
them.
god, that
Yeah.
happened like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Our
Jesus.
justice system.
So-
Our justice system.
America.
American justice.
America.
Yes.
Law and
So
order.
I wanted to just
Dum dum.
Choke, choke.
I hate you. So I just wanted to kind of dive into the whole Slenderman myth
Oh,
or
fuck that.
theory or
The
like
mythos.
whatever you want to talk about.
I'm just gonna say right now, I didn't know much about Slenderman until Slyn and I started talking about this, and it fucked me up.
Yeah.
I did not sleep.
Honestly,
that night.
it's like I love how Slenderman came about. I think that like
It's
the
not
whole
how it
thing.
came about. It's just.
Well, no, I know.
What it turned into.
No,
How did
I
it start?
trust me, honey. I got notes.
I know how it started.
Okay, so this is the origin story of our boy Slendy.
Fuck that. No.
So in 2008, a Photoshop contest was launched
Oh,
on
right,
Something
yeah.
Awful forums, which required that participants turn ordinary photos into creepy-looking images. A guy named Eric posted 2 black and white pictures of unnamed kids with Slenderman as a mysterious creature who was stalking the children. So I actually have the original
I don't wanna
pictures
see
on
it.
my phone.
They're really fucking good. Like they were well done.
So
I
it's
don't
just
wanna
like
see
it's
it.
only 2 pictures. You
I'm
don't have to.
okay.
It's honestly not like it's not that bad, but it's cool.
I'm not gonna go down that road.
That's fine.
I think I learned about this in 2008 when it came out, and I was
These are
terrified.
famous.
Yeah, so it's just like they're really cool pictures. I thought like the editing is really cool. So he ended up like obviously gaining a lot of traction with the story. So just to talk a little bit about Slenderman and like his background. I don't know if you wanted to see the pictures. Okay. So just to talk
Slenderman, like, are we assuming his gender?
Slender.
Slenderman, that's his name.
Slender thing.
Slenderman.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'm just making sure.
Slender human.
I'm just making sure.
Anyways,
it's not a human.
anyways, so So he's basically, obviously, a mythical creature depicted as a tall, thin figure that wears a black suit and has a white, blank face. According to the legend, he can stretch or shorten his arms and he has tentacle-like appendages protruding from his back.
Oh.
The creature can cause memory loss, insomnia, paranoia, can make cameras and audio fuck up, and can teleport.
Oh.
So this is from the Slenderman wiki.
You can't get away from this fucker.
Can make audio and visuals fuck up.
Yes.
That's his official document.
So in total, there are 2 major depictions, I guess, of Slenderman. The original version, he depicted him as not only malevolent, I think that's the word, but extremely dangerous. He will do odd things such as remove organs and place them in bags, impaling targets on trees, and aggressively stalking targets for a period of time.
Slenderman's on the organ trade market.
He's actually trading in your kidney to save people's lives.
Perfect. Yes.
Slenderman smash pass.
Ooh, I honestly smashed.
Yeah, we know.
God,
Slenderman's
no.
got a thing for skinny white boys.
Listen,
Whoa,
I'd
whoa.
smash the fuck out of Slendy. Do you know what those tentacles could probably do?
Slendy?
Slendy.
Are you on a first name basis?
Daddy Slendy, I'm
Stop.
here for him.
No,
Anyways,
thank you.
and
Slendy.
me.
Goodbye.
Shh. Anyways,
Slender Dad.
You're
I
just
can-
shushing people and you just said Daddy Slendy and he wants to not talk about it.
a contemporary depiction shows Slenderman as being extremely passive-aggressive, often
Like
letting
me.
He's salty.
often letting a person slowly delve into madness at their situation until being unable to cope. If invited to anger, he will typically charge a target down until caught and vanish with them to unknown locations.
Oh god.
This version also shows an odd response to electronic equipment and causes massive problems with audio, surveillance cameras, blah blah. Sometimes an individual can determine if he is nearby simply by how certain electronics react, such as radios, televisions, or cameras. So that's basically just the background of Slenderman and kind of where it came from.
Does this guy have any weaknesses?
I don't fucking know. I don't.
Well,
Doesn't
we're
go into
fucked.
it.
Okay.
It doesn't go into it.
We're fucked.
Obviously from that came the game of all games, the Slenderman game. Honestly,
It's just
great.
called Slender.
It's called It's a good game.
A game.
It's a game. So
Oh,
basically,
the game is the classic.
No.
That's what
just
I
to
got
kind of just to kind of sum up that game, you're lost in the fucking woods, and in order to win the game, you have to collect 8 pages that are, and this whole it's literally just a forest, so there's a bunch of fucking trees everywhere, and there's a couple random buildings.
You have one
so
you have a flashlight.
yes,
Yeah.
so you have a flashlight, and all you can really do is just go around, and you have to grab 8 notes. And with each note, he gets a lot more
Angrier?
aggressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets more
So
aggressive.
this, what? Doesn't
Yeah.
he just
So,
what?
and
he,
basically-
teleports and jump scares you, and then you have to
It's
run
not
away.
okay.
I've
So
never played this game.
so what basically
no.
what happens is he's obviously following you, and you can tell by your screen if it starts to get all staticky and shit, he's close by. So you got to keep running basically. And then if he ends up catching you, it's just you're
The
caught.
way the game works is if you have your flashlight on, he can find you easier, but he's not as fast. But if you have
Yeah.
your flashlight off,
So-
he's faster, but he can't find you as easily.
So,
Yeah.
So
he's
you have to,
sensitive to light.
Well, he just knows where you are. And
Yeah.
I guess
But he
maybe
can't
I
run
guess
as
that was true.
fast.
He would be sensitive.
Doesn't
Yeah.
he at the very
So
end?
I'm keeping my fucking lights on.
Doesn't he kill you at the very end?
Yeah,
of the
I
game
don't think you can
anyways?
win. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's always
I
a
never
situation
finished the game,
where-
so I
That's
don't
fucked
know.
But-
up. You can't even win.
No, you
Yeah.
can't.
So
Bitch, you
anyways,
can't
that
win.
was just a little summary of the game.
Oh,
But
God.
anyways, so
I hate
now to
this
talk
already.
Oh,
to
and
talk
by
about
the way, if you haven't heard the term creepypasta, Slenderman was turned into a creepypasta.
yes,
And
bitch,
then,
creepypasta.
yeah.
Isn't
What-
he, did he get put into SCP at all? Ever?
No.
No, and he got this what happened was he was kind of a cultural phenomenon because he became this giant writing point for so many people,
Oh
and
my God.
there became an instant
Yeah.
lore about
There's
him.
fan fiction about
Yeah.
Slenderman with him fucking people.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
You can, read
Not
it.
Ooh,
that.
Zaddy.
Yeah.
Zaddy himself.
No.
But yeah, no, deadass,
No.
and it became such a thing, and
Yeah.
they even made a fake German folklore thing about him. They made it up. They
How
gave
was
him
I so unaware this was
they
happening?
gave him an
Oh, yeah,
origin
no.
story.
Have you ever read the creepypasta where the guy wakes up in the middle of the night?
No.
Oh, it's
I should read it.
The
I should have
original,
gotten
the
it.
OG Slenderman fanfics and creepypastas are so good.
Anyways, so to get into the actual stabbings that happened,
Okay, just jumping right into the stabbing.
So
Well,
the actual incident itself happened in 2014. Like, we're in 2018.
Yeah.
So, two 12-year-old girls named Anissa and Morgan invited their classmate Peyton, whatever.
Peyton.
Yes, to hang out while playing hide and seek in the woods. They stabbed her 19 times in the chest, arms, and abdomen. The two girls were initially going to kill Peyton the night before a sleepover, but just didn't go through. After Peyton was stabbed all those times, the girls left her there to die. Peyton managed to drag herself to a nearby road where a cyclist found her and called the police. She ended up surviving.
Oh, she did? I thought she
Yes,
died.
no. She ended up surviving, and that was how they really caught, like, that's how, like, that was her, like, her statement is what fucking got the girl.
Oh,
I'm
those
just
girls
gonna
are
say,
dumb.
you would probably have so much PTSD, so much PTSD, you would never want to make fucking friends again.
Yeah.
But first I'm gonna say, if any of y'all were like, let's go play hide and seek in the woods, I would go, fuck no, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
because
well,
the
like, that's
woods-
false,
I'm
because
going
I love playing hide and
No,
seek in the woods.
I'm just saying me.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, fuck, not because you're gonna kill me, just because the
Gonna
woods
eat
are
my
fucking
goddamn
creepy,
demon, Selena.
Yeah.
and you don't know what's out there.
So,
Werewolves.
how does the stabbing link to
You gotta
Slenderman?
confine your cat.
Well,
How?
I know.
How does it? Let's find out. So the reason for Anissa and Morgan's attack was to prove that Slenderman was real. They told the police that they wanted to prove their loyalty to him and to protect their families from him. They said they believed the only way to become a follower of the character was to murder someone. After this, they claimed they thought they would be his servants and live in his mansion. So...
Is he Michael Jackson?
I gotta go. So the case ended just in the past few months. Both of the girls pleaded guilty, but they were both committed to psychiatric hospitals. It ended
Most
up,
of their lives.
Yeah.
it ended up being they claimed. Oh wait, where am I? Oh, so they were actually found not guilty by reason of mental illness. So Anissa got 25 years in the psychiatric hospital, and Morgan got 40. So, it ended up being found out too that Morgan's schizophrenia was so fucking bad at the time. So, like, that obviously has a lot to do with it too.
Didn't they say that she thought she could talk to, like, Voldemort and, like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That's what I read somewhere.
Maybe, I don't.
I read that
I didn't
somewhere.
delve in.
And then she just cycles through different characters in her head, and then it was
I can speak to Voldemort, Pikachu,
Mood. Fuck, yeah, so...
Bye.
That was, that's just something else.
Yeah, just
Slendy.
Okay,
put
so...
it out there.
Yeah, so, okay. I want to talk about... There was one other one that I was going to talk about first, but I decided to move on from that because I don't know if we'll have time to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It's called the Russian sleep experiment.
Oh, fuck this.
Has anybody ever heard of this?
No.
Have you heard of this?
We
I've
talked
never
about
heard of
this.
This is
I didn't
fucking
like this.
crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Is
so
this
just...
better or worse than Dear David?
I don't know.
I don't
It
know.
depends on how you... This isn't, like, this is not real. Like,
It's a creepypasta.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's not
So,
real.
So again, just to preface it, this is not a real fucking story. This was not a real study that was done. Somebody just came up with a story, and I read about this like years ago, and it's always just fascinated me to really think about it. So I'm just gonna read the story. It's very interesting. So
And after this, let's all go around and say what our favorite creepypasta is, because I'm
I've
interested.
never read it.
I haven't
they're
read too
crazy,
many.
come on.
I've read a few of them. Actually, I do have
They're
one.
spooky,
Just kidding.
spooky
Okay,
stuff, man.
so
Spooky, scary, scary.
the story. Same.
And shivers down
Your
your...
spine.
Woo!
Bye. So the story goes that toward the end of the
I think you
1940s,
have up to 7 seconds of song, and then you get
Very
copyright.
true.
So we're good.
Yeah.
can I
Continue.
read my story?
Sorry.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Show and tell.
I
Show and sell.
I gotta go. Okay. I need to like spit out my gum or something. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay.
Swallow it.
Bye. The story goes that toward the end of the 1940s, Soviet researchers sealed 5 prison inmates into an airtight chamber and dosed them with an experimental stimulant gas to test the effects of prolonged sleep deprivation. Their behavior was observed via two-way mirrors, and their conversations monitored electronically. They were promised their freedom if they could go without sleep for 30 days. So the first few days passed uneventfully. By the 5th day, however, the subjects began showing signs of stress and were overheard bemoaning their circumstances. They stopped conversing with their fellow inmates, choosing instead to whisper compromising information about one another into the microphones, apparently in an effort to win the favor of the researchers. Paranoia set in. On the 9th day, the screaming began. First one subject, then another, was observed running around the chamber, screaming for hours on end. Equally disconcerting, maybe?
Yeah, disconcerting.
Was the behavior of the quieter subjects, who began ripping apart the books they had been given to read, smearing pages with feces and plastering them over the mirrored windows so their actions could no longer be observed. Then, just as suddenly, the screaming stopped. The subjects ceased communication altogether. 3 days passed without a sound from inside the chamber. Fearing the worst, the researchers addressed them via the intercom. "We're opening the chamber to test the microphones," they said. "Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your immediate freedom." A voice from inside answered, "We no longer want to be freed." 2 more days passed without contact of any kind as the scientists debated on what to do next. Finally, they decided to terminate the experiment. At midnight on the 15th day, the stimulant gas was flushed from the chambers and replaced with fresh air in preparation for the subjects' release. Far from being pleased with the prospect of leaving, the subjects began screaming as if in fear for their lives. They begged to have the gas turned back on. Instead, the researchers unsealed the door to the chamber and sent armed soldiers inside to retrieve them. Nothing could have prepared them for the carnage they witnessed upon entering. One subject was found dead, lying face down in 6 inches of bloody water. Chunks of his flesh had been torn off and stuffed into the floor drain. All of the subjects had been severely mutilated, in fact. Even worse, the wounds appeared to be self-inflicted. They had ripped open their own abdomens and disemboweled themselves with their bare hands. Some had even eaten their own flesh. The 4 who were still alive seemed terrified of falling asleep and refused to leave the chamber, again pleading with the researchers to turn the gas back on. When the soldiers attempted to remove the inmates by force, they fought back so ferociously they couldn't believe their eyes. One suffered a ruptured spleen and lost so much blood there was literally nothing left for his heart to pump, yet continued flailing for a full 3 minutes until his lifeless body collapsed. The remaining subjects were restrained and transported to a medical facility for treatment. The first to be operated on fought so furiously against being put under that he tore muscles and broke bones during the struggle. As soon as the anesthetic took effect, his heart stopped and he died. The rest underwent surgery without sedation. Far from feeling any pain, however, they laughed hysterically on the operating table. So hysterically that the doctors, perhaps fearing for their own sanity, admitted a paralytic agent to immobilize them. After surgery, the survivors were asked why they mutilated themselves and why they so desperately wanted to go back on the stimulant gas. Each in turn gave the same enigmatic answer: "I must remain awake." The researchers considered euthanizing them to obliterate every trace of the failed experiment, but were overruled by their commanding officer, who ordered that it be resumed immediately, with 3 of the researchers joining the inmates in the sealed chamber. Horrified, the chief researcher pulled out a pistol and shot the commanding officer point blank. He then turned and shot one of the 2 surviving subjects. Aiming his gun at the last one alive, he asked, "What are you? I must know." "Have you forgotten so easily?" the subject said, grinning. "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go into the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." The researcher fired a bullet into his heart. The monitor flatlined as the subject murmured these last words: "So nearly free."
Spooky. Scary.
That's some spooky, scary shit. So they kind of gave an analysis on the story on like the website that I read it from. It's given that human beings require a certain amount of sleep on a regular basis in order for our minds and bodies to function properly. Anyone who has experienced a night or two of insomnia knows how critical even a few hours of refreshing sleep can be to one's health and well-being. What would happen if we spent 15 or more days without the natural downtime virtually every sentient creature requires? Would we fall apart mentally and physically? Would we go insane? Would we die? It's questions like these that the Russian sleep experiment was were supposedly designed to answer, with the horrifying catastrophic results reported above.
Here's the thing.
Tell me, girl.
Like, with, like, the sleep, you have to have sleep.
Yes.
It's, like, our human bodies are not prepared to not sleep.
True.
So, yeah, like, without sleep for a few days, you do actually start going crazy. You start hallucinating, you start doing all that shit. But, like, that's a little extreme.
Oh, of course.
And I feel
their
like,
hearts would stop way before that experiment.
And I feel like if that actually happened, yeah, they would die before they got to the disemboweling stage.
And it doesn't really go into, like, their food or their water, like, how they kind of, like, obviously our bodies need food and water to fucking live, and, like, so, I don't know, obviously, like, again, obviously it's fake, but, like, just the thought of that experiment, I feel like it definitely fascinates me. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
My favorite is Gateway to the Mind. Do you guys know that one?
No.
They basically take a guy, and I'm not gonna, like, read the whole thing, but they take this guy, this subject, he was a homeless man who said he had nothing left to live for, and they cut off all of his senses. They cut off his sight, his hearing, his smell, his touch, and his movement. And, like, after a while, he started saying that, like, because he could still speak, but he just couldn't feel or, like, just, like, nothing. So he started saying that he could see his dead wife and, like, communicate with her. And then he started, like, going absolutely crazy, like, screaming and stuff. And then, like, right before he died, he looked at the scientist and he went, "I've spoken with God and he has abandoned us." And then he just died. Yeah, it's crazy.
Bye-bye.
Literally.
Creepy.
I read one. I don't know what it's called. I don't know, like,
I'll probably be able to
anything.
tell you. I'm very well versed.
It's basically the guy who, like, talks about how he's, like, a people watcher and he goes on the subway a lot. And, like, he notices this guy and, like, something intrigues him about this guy that he's seeing on the subway, and he sees him, like, every day, and he starts to follow this guy.
That's fucking weird.
And, like, no, I know. So it's just, like, it ends, like, in the end of it, like, he ends up following this guy all the way to the end of the, like, the tracks or, like, whatever.
Oh,
and, like, he ends up becoming the guy that leads people to that place. Like, I don't even know. I can't even explain it. I read it so many years ago, but, like, that's the only one that, like...
Why does he lead him to the place?
It's
just, like, I don't know. It was part of, like, a whole, like, interdimensional, like, weird fucking...
God.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
If you guys want a good spook, read The Smiling Man and then watch the YouTube video.
No.
Someone made, like, a short film.
It's
basically a guy walking home at night. Like, and it's
you gotta tell the story. I think I know what it is.
Yeah, he's like, he's like on a sidewalk and, like, it's empty. It's completely empty. And on the other side of the street, he sees this tall, skinny guy smiling.
Yeah, no.
The smiling man.
Yeah.
My type of daddy.
With like a hat on, and he's
No,
skinny.
okay.
He's walking like a cartoon.
Okay, shut the fuck up.
Basically.
Okay, we're good.
Well, it's fine. If you want to, if you all...
I think I know what it is, and I don't want to hear it again. I don't want to know. I'm sure.
Okay, it's fine. So now, just to lighten things up, it has been almost an hour and 15 minutes. So just to lighten things up and kind of tie things together, I wanted to talk about some chain mail from, like MSN or, like, email that
we're
were
not gonna play Smash or Pass fictional characters.
That can be in another episode, don't you worry. Honestly, there's so many things that we can talk about, like, theory-wise, like, different myths and stuff. Like, I definitely want to do this more often. So, like, we'll definitely do a Smash.
We still have
or
another
Pass.
20 minutes or so we got some time.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. Either way, so I found really, like, I was actually going through my personal old email from, like, back in the day, and I found, like, a couple of, like, chain mails that I thought were funny, but I do want to start with one creepy one. I couldn't find the original email, like, in my list, but I know for sure, like, I've seen it, I know people have, like, it's a very common one that went around, so I'm gonna read it. I think it's funny, but, like, whatever. Hi. My name is Carmen Winstead.
Oh, this one.
Hi.
This is
hello.
the best. I'm 17. I love this. Okay. I'm 17 years old. I'm very similar to you. Did I mention to you that I'm dead?
It's not what you open with, like, on the first date, you know?
Okay, so that's great. A few years ago, a group of girls pushed me down a sewer hole to try and embarrass me. When I didn't come back...
Embarrass you?
They don't push me down a sewer hole to try to embarrass me. Like, what? Like,
yeah. When I didn't come back up, the police came. The girls said that I had fell and everyone believed them. The police found my body in the sewer. I had a broken neck and my face was torn off.
How?
Hold on. Send this message to 15 people after you read the whole message if you value your life. A boy called David received this message. First of all, dear David, goodbye.
Fuck, that's what happened.
Anyways, he just laughed and deleted it. When he was in the shower, he heard laughing. My laughter in all caps.
Oh my.
I just jumped like
She's
10
so, like,
feet.
she's
No,
so,
I'm not gonna lie.
She's so, like, she just wants you to know what's going on.
Yeah,
Like,
no, of course. He got really scared, rushed to his phone to repost this message. That was the first thing he thought of when he heard laughing.
Repost the message.
I have to.
I'm like, shit, there's someone in my house. Maybe I should call the damn police.
Literally. ... But he was too late.
Oh,
The
fuck.
next morning, his mom entered his bedroom, and all she found was a message written in blood saying, "You will never have him back. No one has found his body yet, because he is with me. Send this to 15 people in the next 5 minutes if you don't want your fate to be the same as David's. Your time starts now.
Okay, well,
The
Noel,
story is true. You can research it on Google." That's a fucking line in the email, bitch. Like,
References.
Noel, your hand is up.
I got a question.
Okay.
Okay. Did his mom not hear the laughter? And also, you think, like, she would have heard shit going on.
What is this 8-year-old girl doing at her home? Like, what does she have time for?
No,
this?
I'm just saying, like, if you're in, like, if I'm in the fucking shower and I bolt, no matter, even if you're upstairs or whatever, and you bolt out of the shower to run to your room, like, you hear someone running.
okay, wait, not even that.
How did her
How
face
did
get
she
torn
go-
off when she
listen.
fell in the sewer?
How did David go so long without his mom even noticing that he wasn't home?
How long was it?
What?
Did it say how long it was?
No, it literally was just he was taking a shower, and then the next morning, like, did you not say good night to your dear boy
No.
David? Like, I cannot.
Here's the
David.
thing. Here's the thing about this. This popped up on my Facebook one day, because I forget who posted it, but someone posted it. So I read it.
This story?
A story.
Okay.
As I was about to get in the shower.
Ew, bye.
Like I'm not even fucking
They
kidding.
did used to freak me out when I was younger.
So
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you know I sent that to 15 fucking
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
You
So I'm just-
you
I'm-
damn know
I'm
well.
honestly trying to see if I still, because I reposted it,
Yeah.
because with whatever you had to say.
Oh my god. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that.
I'm trying,
that's
like, I'm
so-
Okay,
legitimately
well,
trying to find it right now.
The
because
day
wanna
that
see if
I
can
knew
find
these
it.
things weren't real, guys, was the day that I made one and sent it to all my contacts. And then I ended up getting one back like a month later. It had like 20,000 people in like the carbon copies of who it was sent to. I made a successful chain letter. And
Wow.
yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Iconic.
Good for you,
Yeah.
man.
I need you to find
It
that
was
for me.
really specific. It was like, you'll receive a doll in the mail if you don't send this to people, and it knows where you live, and
Wow.
at exactly this time the doll will come. It was something really like
That's
just
so extra.
outrageous, just absolutely outrageous, and
That's
I
extra.
got like 20,000 sends, man.
Damn,
yeah,
bitch. I
it's
want
crazy.
to. You need to find that email.
It was in
I
my old
want it.
MSN. Like I can't sign in anymore because MSN is sucky.
R.I.P.
Sorry.
Okay, so that was
Nice.
that story. I love that story. I think
I'm
it's
straight up
a
trying to see if I
classic.
can find it.
Yeah, you keep on looking, and I'll keep on going.
Okay.
So I also just wanted to dive into another email I found in my personal email that was sent to me by like 17 different people. It's called the boyfriend and girlfriend test.
Oh.
And I'm gonna read this word for word. This is amazing. It's a long fucking email, so like brace yourself. You better finish this test.
You better.
15 exclamation points.
You better.
This is no joke. It works, in brackets, from experience. Do not just delete this. Do what it says for your own love life's sake.
Wow.
Read this now or forever hold your peace.
What?
This is not just your ordinary chain letter. Every person you send it to brings you more good luck. So this is like a list of if you send it to this many people, this will happen. So like, Send this to no one. It will cause someone you like to hate you. Send this to one person. Your next relationship will have lots of fun times. Send this to 2 people. You'll get a secret admirer. 3 people you're going to date for the next school dance. 4 people you meet the person of your dreams. 5 people the guy or girl you met of your dreams will ask for your phone number.
Wow.
8
I think
people.
I think you remember all of these. Like,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time that happened.
8 people your next relationship will be everlasting. 13 people your boyfriend or girlfriend will become totally faithful to you.
Wow. It takes a lot of shares to get the faith.
15 people the person you have been crushing on for a long time will ask you out. 18 people your date for the next dance will ask you out. 20 people you will make out with your crush at a party. If you do that much sending... Wait, what? If it can do that much, sending it to 20 people, imagine what it will do if you send it to more.
Imagine.
Hold on.
So you make your own rules here.
Yes. This was underlined in bold letters. The consequences.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
If you do not send this letter to anybody, your life will be a living hell.
Wow.
You have 5 days to send this letter to at least one person. You can send this to as many people as you want. I'm warning you. Do not just delete this letter. It is a new chain letter, and we would like it to... Wait, what? We would like it to get sent around as quickly as possible.
Wait
I
a second.
refuse to
When you're
send
meta.
it...
The most meta chain
Literally.
letter.
I refuse to send it to many people when I first made it in June of 1995 because I didn't believe it would work.
This is just some old 40-year-old guy who is trying to get famous.
Literally.
On the internet.
I sent it to 38 people and I got the best boyfriend I could ever have.
Jesus.
So that was the consequences, I guess.
So, question. Is she saying that the only way she could get a boyfriend was
It's
through a
this,
chain
yeah.
letter?
No, yeah, of course.
I
That's
honestly...
the
That's a
only
little sad.
that's the only realistic possibility of how she got a boyfriend.
That or someone's coming in to murder us.
I honestly
Dude,
both.
they-
and truly believe my life is so unfortunate because I never forwarded any of those chain letters.
Honestly,
Oh,
mood,
wow.
yeah.
Maybe that's
I
like the
agree.
reason.
I never forwarded them either though, and I've had a pretty decent love life, so I feel like it's just chance.
It's just me. That's
Okay.
Oh, I'm not saying it's you.
Yeah, it's just
like-
me.
So now I need you guys to follow along with this test because I need you guys to answer. So everybody pull up a notepad.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
pull up a notepad. Okay, ready?
Oh,
So
wait,
you're
wait,
gonna-
wait.
Okay. All right. We have our notes ready. Here we go. So. Okay, so you're gonna answer your questions, the questions that I give. It's like multiple choice, okay?
Yeah, oh, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, we got it.
Number 1. Pick your favorite color out of the following: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple.
This is like the original BuzzFeed quiz.
What's your
This
favorite
is
color?
BuzzFeed before BuzzFeed. I'm here for it.
Pre-buzz.
Okay.
We can't trust BuzzFeed, guys. They posted an article about how hot Max from the Goofy movie would be today.
Zaddy Max.
They lost all credibility the instant
Good.
I saw that article.
They never had any credibility.
Literally
let's be
never.
honest.
Okay,
Anyways.
next one. Pick your favorite animal out of the following: cat, dog, fish, snake, parrot, mouse.
Okay.
Okay? Number 3.
Question: who the fuck would pick mouse?
I don't fucking know. Pick your desired honeymoon spot: Hawaii, New York, East Africa, Spain, or Montana.
Montana.
I'm gonna get some good old Montana barbecue.
We're gonna go to Hannah, Montana.
Go to visit
Jones barbecue. You know damn well that commercial
Or-
came straight out of Montana.
Oh my God.
go to Montana to visit Adam Ellis's parents.
Bitch, I'll go.
Hey.
I don't want to get tangled up with him. I feel like it's a terrible web.
Okay,
Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
next question. Pick your favorite instrument: violin, piano, electric guitar, or drums. Number 5. Pick your favorite soft drink: Dr. Pepper, Sprite, Coke, Mountain Dew, or Pepsi.
We all know what Kelsey's gonna pick. Kelsey has a Coke addiction.
I do actually.
The good kind.
The good
All right. Number 6. Name a person of the opposite sex.
Alright.
There's
Like,
no list,
do I have to
just
know
a
them?
name.
You
Just
have to
name-
know them.
Name a person of the opposite sex. Just
Okay.
name someone.
Wait.
And then number 7, name a person of the same sex.
Can it be yourself or no?
I don't know. Just
Okay.
just name a person
Cool.
of the same sex.
Cool. Okay.
So I'm assuming not you.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Oh my god.
She doesn't know.
Damn it, Kelsey. Okay. What is the time now? So write down for what is this, number 8? The time is 11:01.
11:02.
No, it's
It is 11:01.
actually not.
That's what it says on my phone.
Your
Fuck
phone
off.
is
Number
Yeah,
9.
both of your phones. Fuck
Number
your
9 is your age.
Okay.
So number 10, you don't have to write this down, but make a wish. And scroll down. So in the email, you would scroll down and
I
basically...
scrolled down in my document just for the
Yeah, I
records.
scroll down for the
Of
nostalgia.
course, of
public
course.
record.
So, like, in the actual email itself, it was basically a lot of, like, the asterisk symbols in different colors, and it was just a fucking line of them. It was so
I remember
annoying.
those.
So, it was very long. So here are the answers. Here are the answers, okay?
The answers?
Here are the answers in all caps is what it says. I don't know what the fuck that means, but that's fine. Okay. So, for each of the questions, whatever one you chose has a different meaning to it.
Oh my god.
So, for number 1, if you chose red, that means you're adventurous.
Nope.
Orange is fun. Yellow is sweet. Green is wacky. Blue is romantic. And purple is mysterious.
This dude
So, like,
is
mood.
dumb.
Okay,
And we'll
green
go
is
around-
wacky,
we'll
like
go-
wacky
hey.
tobacco? Like,
Yes. Actually, that's where they got it from. So we'll go...
Everyone make notes on what you are.
Yes,
Yeah.
write it down, and then we'll go around after, and you guys can say what you are.
Alright.
And then
So-
we'll compare it to our actual personalities.
Yes.
Alright.
So, number 2, if you chose cat, you're feminine. Dog is loving. Fish is boring. Snake is boyish. Parrot is annoying. and mouse is brainy.
Are you telling me Erica would pick mouse?
Maybe. For question number 3, this is the destinations one. So if you chose Hawaii, you're romantic. If you chose New York, you're busy. East Africa is curious. Spain.
Bullshit.
Spain is mysterious. And Montana is country girl country girl / boy.
Adrian, boy.
I fucking cannot do
This is
this.
awful. This is
What
so
about
bad.
Spain is mysterious?
Okay, next one. For the instruments.
Okay, here we go.
If you chose violin, you're intellectual.
Of course.
Piano is popular. Electric guitar is wacky. And drums is wild.
Wacky and wild.
Wacky with that tobacco.
Oh my god. Okay, so the next one for the pop. If you chose Dr. Pepper, you're popular. Sprite, wacky.
She ran out of words.
I'm looking, literally, Sprite is wacky.
Oh, no.
Again.
We just had that one.
What if you just get all
Coke.
wacky?
You're just fucking wacky. Coke is wild. Mountain Dew is athletic. And
Oh, wait.
I know. Hold on. We'll discuss after. We will discuss after. And then Pepsi is fun.
Pepsi is not fun.
If you get all wacky, can you just say, like, can you start saying the word it's whack? Like,
whack.
Do you get permission?
I know.
How are we
So
gonna
okay.
do this one?
Shh, let me get to it. Shut up. Okay. Number 6. So the person. So this is assuming that every single person reading this email is straight. So the person of the opposite sex is the person you will have a crush, or the person will have a crush on you after sending this. The person of the same sex, they will become your enemy if you don't send it. Number 8, the time. So that's how long you have to send this. So it's what did we say?
Wait, in
11:02.
what, minutes?
So no. So it would be
11:01.
11 hours and 1 minute or whatever we said.
Waits till, like, 11. Waits, like, to the very
Or
last
12,
minute.
Yeah.
12:59.
Internet times out.
Yeah. So then number 9 is your age. That's how many peeps you have to send this to. And number 10 is your wish. It will come true if you do number 9 in the amount of time number 8 says.
Wow. So it really only went up to 5, and then the
Yeah.
rest was just.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So-
Okay, who's gonna get started on this whack train?
We'll start with Kelpie.
Okay, so for number 1, I put blue, which was romantic.
Oh, okay. Guys.
I mean, no, because of a lot of reasons.
It's fine.
Reasons
Fine.
Good.
Number 2, I got dog, which was loving.
True.
And I mean, yeah, I love that.
True, yeah,
So,
true.
you know. New York, I picked, which was busy, which I'm not fucking busy.
I ain't doing shit.
I go to school and I procrastinate my fucking ass off. So
Mood.
then I picked electric guitar, which was wacky, which I don't think I described myself. Well, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Wacky.
Pretty goddamn wacky, Kels.
Oh, God damn it.
Coke, I got wild, and I mean,
We weren't surprised at that.
if I got drunk, yeah.
True.
Pretty wild.
True. And you don't have to go if you don't want to actually name the people. You can if you want.
Sure, I'm legitimate. It was Justin for the guy, Selena, and then level 1.
Am I supposed to start feeling it? Like, right? Oh, you haven't sent it to your
I haven't
piece
sent
yet.
it to
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you haven't felt it. Or,
then
yeah,
there
you haven't
was
felt
Tomorrow
it.
night, Justin starts getting a strange feel.
Yeah, honestly.
It's like, damn, Kelsey though. Damn. Oh my god. Alright.
1101, then 21.
Perfect. Alright, Noelle.
Alright, so.
Wait. What's the... Never mind.
Oh wait, tell us your wish.
I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking say my wish.
Okay.
Fuck,
that's
okay.
fine.
Fine,
Yeah,
fine,
don't you
fine.
guys know you can't tell a wish or something?
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna come true.
Bitch, it's not gonna come true because you're
Wait,
not
what-
sending
what
the
did-
damn email.
Selena, what did the guy's name represent again that we wrote down?
The guy's name. Hold on, I need to.
The person who you
She's
become
going back in the
the
archives.
person
Hold
who you
So
become
the
anyway.
no wait, the same sex is
Yeah.
the one you will become an enemy with.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Selena, if you start feeling like you're gonna fucking
Bitch, I'm gonna fucking murder you. Okay, Noelle, go ahead.
Alright,
Give us your rundown.
So I got purple, so mysterious. And
You are mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
I'd
think
say
you're-
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I
Imagine
guess.
it's super accurate for Noelle.
For
let's hear it.
dog, I got loving.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, which I'll agree to that.
Accurate.
I think
accurate.
so.
Yep.
I put for destination Hawaii, so romantic, and
I agree.
I think I can be pretty romantic.
Yeah.
I'm secretly, I'm a romantic.
Okay. All right.
I'm a romance.
I'm a romance.
I am
I
romance.
am romance.
Yeah.
I am no romance.
For so for the instrument I put violin, so I got intellectual. Which I don't think I'm intellectual.
Yeah,
I'm
you are.
I'm just
I-
I'm just educated.
You're-
I'm just benefiting
But out
from
of
a
our
really decent school system.
Out of our group, who are all pretty dumb, you're probably the most intellectual.
I wouldn't
You
say
and
any of
Eric
us are
are kind
down.
of the top.
Well, thanks guys, but thanks I guess.
Anyways.
Then I
You're the
put
one
for
who started the book club.
bitch. I did. You're
True.
right. Okay. And then for the drink I put Coke. So wild, which when I'm drunk,
Agreed,
I get
bitch.
fucking wild, man.
Fucking
I get
agreed.
fucking crazy.
Yep.
So the name for like opposite sex, I put Brad, which
Hey.
Okay.
He's a
All
guy.
right.
is a good guy. He's a guy.
All right.
For my enemy,
He's a
I put
guy.
Selena.
Oh,
no.
bitch.
So
Fuck
really,
you.
It's been
I-
accurate up to this point. Are you guys gonna like have a fight soon?
We're gonna throw hands.
Oh,
I'm gonna
fuck.
throw hands with it.
Selena's gonna drop me off at the side of the road.
Oh, Lordy.
See you later, bitch. Welcome.
Selena's gonna Slenderman after me. That's what's gonna
Ooh,
happen.
bitch.
Fuck
Okay.
And again,
So-
1101.
1101 and then 21, so maybe I got 72. And my wish, I was just like I just wish that reading week, which is next week, would come sooner.
Move.
Because I'm ready.
True.
And that was me.
All right. Good. Justin, give us the
Okay.
lowdown.
I picked blue, so I'm romantic, I guess. I have never been in a relationship before. Number 2, dog, loving. 3, Hawaii, romantic again. So I got romantic twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sans.
keeper.
I must be pretty good. Number 4, guitar, so I'm wacky.
A
Wacky
little bit.
Number
tobacco.
5,
wacky.
yeah. I picked Pepsi, so I'm fun, I guess.
You are fun.
Yeah.
I'd say you're very fun.
Number 6, Janice is gonna fall in love with me,
Who's Janice?
and Marty is gonna become my enemy.
Honestly, mood.
So
Marty the zebra?
Janet, Marty, who are you? People from SpongeBob.
What?
Oh
I was
my
gonna
God,
say,
yeah,
what is
that's
that
right.
from?
So
Oh my God.
Patrick's
I'm gonna
parents.
fall in love. I'm gonna cuckold Patrick's parents and like take his wife away.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna be friends with Marty
Wow.
anymore.
So you're gonna be
Perfect.
Patrick Starr's stepdad.
I'm gonna
Zaddy.
take on that label.
Yeah, true though.
I'm not paying no child support. I don't know how old
True.
Patrick is, so. Anyways,
They're your kids.
11:01. I'm 21 years old, and I'm gonna say my wish because I'm not sending this to 21 people, and it's in a note on my phone, so I can't send it to anyone anyway. But I wish I had more money.
That's a good one. Yeah.
A good mood.
Yeah.
Alright,
Mood.
tell us.
Okay.
I'll open a GoFundMe. You guys
Oh God bless GoFundMe.
Starting a GoFundMe page.
Okay, so I got purple, so I'm also mysterious.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
If
agree.
you don't know, Logan and I are ENFPs together.
Oh yeah.
And Feps.
God bless personality types. So I picked snake, so I'm boyish.
That's funny. That's
Good.
fucking funny.
I love that one.
Boyish.
Boyish. Boyo.
Boy.
Boy. Anyways.
Anywho, I got Spain, which is apparently also mysterious.
Full
of mystery.
Logan's
Mysterious.
very, very mysterious.
Veiled in mystery. I got violin, because apparently I'm an intellectual.
I'd say you are. I feel like you know, you're a leading authority on a lot of things. Like, I feel like if I don't know something, I'm like, Logan might know. And I figure I usually ask you.
God bless.
So I agree. I agree
Bless
with
up.
What's
that.
up? What's up?
Bless up.
I picked Dr. Pepper, which apparently for some reason incurs popularity.
Yes,
Pretty popular.
bitch.
I feel like
Popular.
I know, I'm pretty fucking cool.
Wow.
That's the guy you want to be friends with, like.
True.
Yeah.
True. I picked. So for my crush, it's gonna be my wife already, Selena.
I'm fucking dead,
No,
bitch. I'm fucking
I
dead.
died.
I'm already dead.
Wanna die.
Perfect.
And then my apparent new enemy is Justin.
Why did everyone
Great.
pick me?
Same.
Only 2
A
people
mood.
picked you.
I'm the
You're
center of
Why did
attention.
people
You're
pick
such a
me?
cunt. Oh my god.
Everything revolves around me.
That's amazing.
Alright, Jesse Slaughter. Calm down.
So that was that. I also just wanted. I found going through my emails. I found 2010 horoscopes,
Oh god.
which I thought were again pretty fucking funny. So I just figured we'd go over that right before we end the episode because it's getting pretty fucking late. So Kelsey, what's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, bitch, me too. Okay, I
Say
fuck with it.
ooh.
Say ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Sorry, I was, trying not to die.
Move. Okay, so Scorpio, we are considered the addict. Extremely.
Wow. To Coke?
Yeah.
To Coca-Cola?
So this is for me and you, because we're both Scorpios. We're extremely adorable,
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
love to joke,
Yeah.
very good sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
We'll try almost anything once.
Yeah.
No.
You
Same.
will. Like,
I could see it.
in a way.
Loves to be pampered, energetic, no, predictable,
Kind of, I guess.
Yeah,
I
So,
guess.
like, yeah. Like,
great kisser, and it says that in caps.
Me?
I mean,
Fuck
I wouldn't
that.
know.
Honestly, I fuck with it. Okay,
okay.
maybe.
So y'all looking for someone to kiss? Like,
Yeah, it's
Kelsey,
fine.
They're great kissers.
Yeah, perfect. Always get what they want. Attractive. Loves being in long relationships.
Yeah.
Talkative. Loves to party, but at times to the extreme. A fucking mood forever. Loves the smell and feel of money and is good at making it, but just as good at spending it. Hi, a big arrow above my head. Very productive. Very protective over loved ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hard workers. Maybe not. Can be a good friend, but if is disrespected by a friend, the friendship will be over. That used friend too many times. Romantic.
This is a really long horoscope.
I know. Romantic, caring. 4 years of bad luck if you don't forward.
Well, that sounds fucking
Mood.
horrible.
Noelle, what are
I'm an
you?
Aries.
Ooh, bitch.
Can I just comment on
Yes,
these
please.
Horoscopes are bullshit.
They are.
Because the thing is like, it's so vague. It could be about anyone.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Realistically.
Yeah.
And, like...
I do find though that Scorpios are like generally like I don't know why, but when
They're bullshit. However, being a leading
no,
authority. me.
No, listen, they actually are bullshit, but I find that like they're all very similar. Like each of the horoscopes has like their own like theme, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I find
but
that
it's
all
still-
Scorpio like things that I read like it's all about being a great kisser, being super sexual or like being really attractive,
Which
and
is
I'm like
hysterical because
literally I'm like, hi, that's not I. Like
I'm
no.
literally ace. Like legitimately, like this is not.
You're like no, thank you.
No. And also about the partying one.
Thank you.
I'm a fucking
Meanwhile,
sloppy ass
cancers
drunk.
are portrayed
Ooh,
as
that's
emotional
rough.
bags,
Like, last
and
night-
we are.
Yeah.
Last night I got super drunk and then texted one of my best friends a bunch of really compromising information about myself.
Wow, you are dangerous.
questionable. That's great. Okay,
No one
Aries.
tells-
what?
It was all about me though, don't worry.
Hi. Aries,
Alright.
the aggressive.
Probably.
No?
That's just okay.
You don't know me the way some
That's very
people
true.
know me.
Okay, ready? Outgoing, lovable, spontaneous,
Okay.
not one to mess with,
Okay.
funny,
Yeah.
excellent kisser, extremely adorable,
Aw.
loves relationships, and
Yeah.
family is very important to
Oh,
an
yeah.
Aries. Aries are known for being generous and giving, addictive, loud, always has the need to be right.
Yeah.
Aries will argue to prove their point for hours and hours.
Oh yeah.
Aries are some of the most wonderful people in the world.
That's nice.
16 years of bad luck if you do not.
Holy fuck!
Whoa.
Why did I get so much?
True.
That's fucking rude.
Justin.
Me and Justin
We're
are
both Cancer.
Oh fuck!
Well, are we talking like literal or
Yes.
no?
Appropriately named, so yeah.
Hey. Oh my god, I love this. I love this already. Cancer, the beauty. Bitch, I'm fucking dead. Okay.
Giving you face. Giving you
This is in all caps. The most amazing kisser. Very high appeal.
Logan just shot me a fucking peace sign.
A Cancer's love is one of a kind. Very romantic.
What the fuck? I'm not romantic.
Most caring
You might be.
most caring person you will ever meet in your life. Entirely creative person.
No.
Most are artists and insane. What? Oh, most are artists and insane, respectfully speaking. They they perfected sex and do it often.
Oh yeah.
Extremely random. An ultimate freak.
Okay.
Extremely funny and is usually the life of the party.
So
Most Cancers will take you under their wing and into their hearts where you will remain forever. This is the cheesiest shit.
yes, but why is this act like describing Logan to a T?
Wait,
I mean,
this
Logan's
is just getting really
posing.
fucking weird.
Honestly, go ahead.
Cancers make love with a passion beyond compare. Spontaneous. Imagine a fucking 11-year-old reading this like, yeah, bitch, I fuck good. Has never even looked at a boy just like, bitch, I fuck good. Like, okay, relax there.
It's Jesse and Ari. If they test me.
Gotta go. Okay, wait, not done. Wait, where was I?
Oh, there's
Okay,
more?
not a fighter, but will kick your ass good if it comes down to it. I'm fucking dead.
I agree with that though.
No, dead ass.
Someone-
I don't like confrontation, but if people make me mad, I'll.
Someone you should hold on to.
No.
12 years of bad luck if you do not forward.
Okay, so
Wow.
why did that completely describe everything about Logan's being?
I know, I love how, not opposite, but I love how, like, to a T it described Logan, but, like, I don't know, I've never seen that side of Justin. It could be completely accurate, but I
What?
feel like it could be very undercover.
I think it's, I don't know.
I feel like you could be a romantic.
I
and
just
get
want to
down
say thank
it.
you to whoever wrote this email for hyping me up, like,
I think if you got into a relationship, you might be doing
Yeah.
that, but like,
I have no
you've
interest
never,
in that right now.
you've
Yeah.
never tried, yeah.
I'm not interested in a relationship, but I'm not gonna lie, I do fucks good.
I
Nice.
fuck some good shit. Like, okay.
Oh, God.
Honestly, Slendy, he's in for a
Gotta go!
And with that, and with that, this is the end of episode 3.
Should we give advice like we did?
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
yes, I love that.
What would be a
Kelsey,
piece of advice?
start us off with some good advice.
I don't know. Could it come back to me, actually?
Noelle.
Start keeping a journal.
Ooh.
I recently
okay.
started doing that in New Year, and it doesn't have to be like a long, like, dear diary. Like, literally, sometimes I write the date and I go, just write down my thoughts, and it's nice.
That's good.
Do that.
Oh, I like that. Okay, good.
Poke a few holes in your hot dogs before you microwave them so they don't burst.
Practical
Wow.
advice.
Wow.
Didn't know that, actually.
I was
no
so
clue.
scared you're about to say poke some holes in your condoms, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no.
Super romantic, Justin. Poke the holes in the condoms.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Perfect. Okay. Log?
Log Nation.
Log Nation.
Oh my fucking god, take a nap. Like,
Yeah.
dead ass. Just, like, get
True.
some
Wow,
rest.
love
relieve
that.
your
But
body
not
little
a
bit.
6-hour depression.
No, not a 6-hour depression nap. Just give yourself a good 45-minute, like, and then get back to your life.
Good.
You
I
know?
like that. I like
Yeah.
that. Don't be too hard on yourself. I think that a lot of people are just too hard on themselves and don't give themselves enough credit. So don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing great, and I love you.
And one more, if the David story's bothering you, what helps me is to imagine he has the voice of Danny DeVito, and it really kind of loosens up
I
the whole
fucking
story.
hate you.
No, honestly,
Stop
it does.
this.
Okay, so
Kelsey's
that's
got
I've got
Kelsey,
my advice.
go ahead. End us off.
Don't be ashamed to sleep with the lights on, because that's what I'm fucking doing tonight.
Mode!
we hope you got especially spooked from our
My mic likes to do this thing where it decides to fuck up. But basically what we were saying was thanks for listening in this week. Like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you want us to do next time. And we will catch you in the next episode.